Hello guys and welcome to NtefuniTV. It's good to have you guys back again, and I have a surprise for you guys today. I mean, you already seen it already, so I don't have to say much. I have with me here a very sound Arsenal fan who I've known for some years now, and I decided to make a preview with him today on the game against Arsenal come on Saturday, and I hope you guys are happy to meet him.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
All right.
Great to be here. So, are you ready for the game?
Yeah, I am. I'm already. If it was like before the international break, I would have been a little bit. Not knowing what to say, but I think looking at the games we had before the international break, I am more than ready.
Yeah, I think Chelsea has picked form at the right time. I'm a bit cautious of Chelsea. If this game came at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't have had any fears. But I think it's a good time for Chelsea.
Well, okay. I think I would want to tone down the compliment because we've been having like cold and then warm performances this season, but then our last three games like has been really good. Like we're able to win all those three games. So yeah, I think I'm positive too. So I mean, starting with this video, I would really like to take you back because it feels like no, it feels like we can all see there's something really good going on in your club. Like for the past three seasons, when Arteta took over, even though the results weren't that consistent, but you guys were able to beat us to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And the Lampard, that was like Mikel's like genesis of the team. And then I really want to find out from you your assessment from last season moving on to this season. I know you guys were really on top of the league for a very long time. We all thought you were going to win the league, and then you slipped out and City won it. So I would like to know your assessment of the team from last season to this season.
You know, Arteta has had like a tough time, but he's now bearing the fruits of the things that he used to do at the start of his tenure. But we've had a lot of fans saying Arteta out just after a season in charge, but now everybody is on board with what he wants to do. So it's taken a while to implement his system, taking him to get rid of some big personalities and then start afresh. Aubameyang, for instance. And he was the captain at the time, so it took some guts for him to do that. But now you can say that he's on course. Last season, you can say that we were a bit ahead of schedule in terms of he has a 5-year project. So he wants to win the Champions League at the end of the 5th season, which will probably be next season, I think. So last season, we were ahead of schedule. We did not expect Arsenal to challenge for the title. We were just competing for top 4 because the season before, we were fighting for top 4 and then we made 5th. So last season, we just wanted to finish comfortably in the top 4, maybe 3rd or 2nd. And we ended up challenging for the title right up to the last 5 weeks of the season. But this season, the way things have started, you can see that we have a more like compact team. The football isn't as exciting as last season. Last season was a bit emotional in terms of how we played the football, the results we're getting. For instance, the Bournemouth game where Reece Nelson had a last-minute winner.
Right.
We had a few of those results last season, but this season is more composed. You can see that with the introduction of some new signings, things are getting a bit better. We've had a few draws, but I think it's okay now.
Yeah, I think last season you guys surprised everybody. Nobody was expecting you guys to be challenging for the title, and I think if you guys were able to make just one signing in January last season, you would have been sorted out. I mean, you know, Partey got injured and then things just kind of started going down from there. And I'm thinking we might see similar thing this season. Maybe not Partey being injured, but he'll be leaving for AFCON in January, which is just around the corner. So, I mean, you guys have Jorginho now, you have Trossard. I mean, these are players you brought in, and I'm sure you should have enough, if not to win the title, I think to challenge City and then not make them just run away like they used to do like previous seasons.
So last season we had a few long-term injuries. It started with Gabriel Jesus during the World Cup. Then Partey also got injured, and then Saliba. So that last injury really derailed our season. But this season we made some recruitment in that area. Although Timber is injured, he's likely to be fit for the second half of the season. So we're counting on that. In Partey's position, we have Declan Rice now.
Right.
We also have Jorginho, as
Right.
you mentioned.
Right.
So we're well stocked.
How did I even forget about Declan
Yeah,
Rice?
Declan
Maybe
Rice.
because we missed out on him.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I would like to know how excited you are about Arsenal playing in Europe again. How many years you guys have been out of the Champions
Yeah,
League?
so the last season that we played there was 2017. It's been a long time. So it was a season that Granit Xhaka joined,
Right.
and he helped us to get back into the Champions League, and then he left. So that was a good job from him. But I'm really excited to be back. The expectations are not so high because it's our first season back after a long time.
Right.
So I'm looking at probably quarterfinal stage.
Oh, that's a huge leap.
Yeah, so we hope to build on from there, but quarterfinal is my expectation.
Right. I don't think the group stage hasn't really started well. They're going to lose in
No,
France to Lens.
yeah, so I think the atmosphere in the stadium also contributed to that result. We started the game well, but after the first half, it wasn't so good from us.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. All right. I think it's really too a little bit too early in the season, but I mean, I would like to know who are your best players this season so far. Like, who are the standout performance for you this season?
So when we made a Declan Rice signing, I wasn't too impressed because, I've not really watched his game for the time that he was at West Ham. But
Right.
after watching him these past few 8 games, I can see that he's the one that's really convinced me in the team. He's been very good. Saliba has also been very good. With the front line, Saka has also been his usual best. In fact, I think that he's improved from last season because he's got a goal contribution in almost every game he's played so far. But unfortunately, he's not been fit for the last game.
Yeah.
But we hope to have him back. There hasn't been much news to say if he's back or not from the manager. But so those are my players and my standout players.
I just hope he doesn't make it. I'm not sure he'll be able to make it for the trip to Stamford because I think it's just as a result of playing so many games.
Too many games.
Yeah, I think there were games maybe Trossard would have started from that position and then he taken the rest. But I'm happy you guys decided to play him and then he won't be in this game because I think he's been one of your standout players for the past, if not the past 3 seasons, for the past 2 seasons, he's really been on top of his game.
Since Mikel took charge, Saka has really been on his game.
And that was the kind of player we hope Odoi will be for us. And then just unfortunately he had an injury.
But you've got a few bright talents now. Kani, Chukwuemeka is really good. I've really been impressed by him.
He would need some time to get to where Saka is right now.
And even Cole Palmer. He's also good.
Decent signing. Looking at Kopama, I think I was a little bit sad we missed out on Kudus, but getting Kopama, I mean his last 2 starts for us, he got like 3 goal contribution and like 2 goals and an assist. No, a goal and then 2 assists. I mean he's been good for us.
And he also scored against Arsenal in the Community Shield game.
Right. So I mean that's a fixture he likes. I hope he's able to reproduce that on Saturday. All right. Okay, so I mean, you've been following us now for a very long time, and looking at your team this season, what will you say is one of your weaknesses, or maybe if there are multiple weaknesses, you think, okay, this is one thing I really hope my team sorted out before Saturday, so Chelsea doesn't exploit it.
Yeah. So not to pick on this signing, but we got him from you, Kai Havertz.
I mean, he's not even starting for you guys.
Yeah, he's not been starting because Kai is lacking a bit of confidence. So we just need to give him a bit of time to settle. And the manager is backing him. Yeah, so that left H role is kind of where we don't have a fixed player for that position. It was meant to be Kai Havertz's position. Last season Granit Xhaka played that position. And that wasn't even his usual position. So the manager has tried to convert Havertz into that role. You see, that role is the player that plays that role is not supposed to have much contact to the ball and supposed to be like running into the box, during play.
Right.
So you just run into the box, have less contact with the ball, do a few defensive responsibilities, making those late runs into the box to score. But it hasn't really started well for him. I'm predicting that the manager might start either Jorginho or Partey in that position for the game. But so either Partey or Declan Rice might interchange in that role between the 6 and the 8. but I would say that that would be our weakest point so far.
Right,
Yeah, we don't
right.
have a fixed player for that
I
position.
see, and I just want to touch a bit on Kai Havertz. I feel like we've had him for like close to 4 seasons before he left to join you guys. Well, we all had that hope, like, oh, okay, we're gonna give him time, and we actually didn't see the Kai Havertz we saw at Bayer Leverkusen when we bought him. I know he started playing really young, and then maybe that kind of pressure, the price tag Chelsea bought him for, people thought he was a finished article,
Yeah,
but he was still like just out of his teens when we signed him, which means that was a player that still need a lot of development and a lot of improving. And then we haven't really, apart from that Champions League final goal, I can
yeah,
really pinpoint a game that would be like, okay, so we actually got our money for Kai Havertz.
yeah,
This is actually the player we bought from Leverkusen. So most of the fan base, if not 90% of the fan base, were really happy we were able to get close to like 50 million
yeah.
for him. And then like, and people were like, I mean, after 2 or 3 games, I saw most some of the Arsenal fans are saying, what's Havertz's actual position?
Yeah,
And that was what we
yeah,
were all
yeah.
suffering from. Like Lampard played him from the midfield. He played as an eight, played from the right wing, played as a false nine, and you can't really tell
But
where he plays.
what do you think is his best position?
I think Kai Havertz can be a good striker.
Yeah,
Maybe not like a focal point striker, just like you said, like making late runs into the box. He's very good aerially. That's if you
yeah,
see your game against Manchester City.
yeah,
Partey just went long to him. He nodded the ball down to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu
yeah,
to Martinelli was a goal.
yeah.
That's one thing he's really good at. He's very lanky, not that strong physically. He's not that strong, but he can really win duels here and there. I think being a second striker might be his best position, and he doesn't like playing with his back to go to. So he always want to like face the goal, and he has these killer passes in him when he has space. That's one thing about him. He needs space. He doesn't
Okay.
think quick when he's on the ball. So sometimes he might get the ball caught up in his feet, and then by the time you realize, Premier League is very fast
Yeah.
paced. By the time you realize he's losing the ball. So I think if you guys are able to like make a system for him where he can actually have more time on the ball, decide quickly, he might be like, I mean, not say he'll be Ozil, but he might be Larkan or some
Yeah.
type of player
Yeah.
for you guys, like playing
Yeah.
very close to number 9. And I mean, I don't have any grudges against Kai Havertz. He gave us a lot of money when he left to join you guys, and I hope he really, kickstart his career proper with you guys.
But after the Chelsea game, right?
After the Chelsea game, definitely. He's not scoring at Stamford Bridge. And I hope the fans don't boo him though, because he was just a cool lad that went about his business. And then, And what do you think are our threat? I mean, I don't know if you've had time to watch us for longer periods this season. What do you think we might be able to do to you guys? I mean, what are you scared of when you see this Chelsea team, even though we haven't really been consistent?
Yeah.
We haven't hit the ground running.
So I think Poch is still trying to implement his system and trying to find the right players to play his system. It's been kind of strange watching him play Colwell at left back. I don't really understand what Poch is trying to do.
Right.
But for threats, I'd say Enzo and then Sterling. Sterling is one underrated, undervalued player.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, in the Premier League. So we need to put some respect on Sterling's name. He's been good. He's been one of your best players this season, even though some of the games in between the start of the season and now were not good. But he's been the brighter spots or the brighter sparks for Chelsea this season. And he's had a good record against Arsenal. The times that he was at Liverpool, Man City, he scored a few goals for Chelsea. So I'm kind of worried about Sterling and then Enzo because he gives those killer passes, those through balls. So he could do the same. But who will be playing up top for Chelsea?
Okay, that's. I think it definitely should be Jackson. Jackson didn't go for the international break. I mean, he was called up, but he pulled out. But since Monday, he's been training. He's been fit. Amanda Broja, on the other hand, went to join Albania, but then I think he still felt some pain.
Okay.
And then he was brought back to Cobham. So I don't really think he'll be starting ahead of Jackson. So I think Jackson will be starting. But it's kind of not say funny. It's surprising how you pick Sterling to be one of the traits you think Arsenal should be wary of, because he dropped like, if not 10 out of 10, nearly 10 out of 10 performance against Burnley.
Yeah.
And then when you see some of the Chelsea fans still making their predicted 11 for this game, they still want to see Mudryk play ahead of him.
No.
Mudryk is also picking at the right time, but I know Poch is always going to go for experience, and I think Sterling will be starting to. And I saw someone like tweeted something on X today. It was like we should try to start Sterling. He should try to stay wide, and then if Zinchenko tries to invert inside like Mikel Arteta likes to do, he like his fullbacks to like invert inside. Then Sterling can have all that space on the line. And when you give Sterling that space, you can see against Fulham, you can see against Ben. When you give him that space, he's going to eat you up. So I think Sterling will be one of the threat. And Enzo Fernandez, like I just saw he trained today because he was a bit tired, had to travel to South America for all these games, and he trained today. So I'm more positive he will start. But then I wanted to touch on Kowo too. I felt like the coach didn't really have so much trust in Cucurella. And Ben Chilwell too.
Yeah.
Because Ben Chilwell was available, but in our first, I think 2 or 3 games, he was playing more as an offensive winger than a left back. And that just goes to tell you how maybe defensively he wasn't really content, or he was trying to experiment something. But then Kowo shifted to the left hand side. I'm very worried of him having to defend out wide because he's not the quickest. He's a very good ball playing center defender. He can defend decently too, but he's not that quick. And then leaving him out on the left might expose him, but it looks like he's been growing to that position now. Now he knows when to go out and engage, when not to go, when to stay. And then you see against Australia, he played as a left back for England too. So I'm not really worried if Cole will start from the left back. Maybe there just need to be more instructions made from Caicedo to like try and then drop him more to help him. Also, your wingers are, they are mad. If whether Trossard, whoever starts from that side, whether Martinelli is going to be dangerous if we are to leave Levi Cole 1 against 1 with all your defenders. So I'm not really worried. I think he's been like one of our best players. One of our best defenders apart from Thiago Silva this season. And I think he'll start at left back again.
I think there's this growing trend of playing centre backs in the full back position. So you see that for Arsenal, we have Ben White, who's a centre back playing at right back.
And that was instant. Like when he came from Brighton, he didn't really play as a centre back.
So the same thing is happening at Man City. Last season they used John Stones at right back. This season they're using Guardiola at left back. Right. So I think it's something that managers are trying to implement more. Maybe build some more, it creates some more solidity at the back. It's something to watch, in my opinion.
Right, great. So it's really nice talking to you about Arsenal. But I'm also thinking like the last time we beat you guys at Stamford Bridge was way back in 2018. That's like 5 years now, and that's crazy to think in that 5-year period we've won trophies. But we haven't just been able to like put that performance when it comes to the Premier League at the Bridge.
What do you think is the reason for that?
I just think it's the inconsistency in the managers. We've been like changing in those 5 years. I can say we've changed like close to like 5 managers in 5 years. It's crazy. We had Tuchel left, Potter came in, Lampard came in, and then now Thomas Tuchel. That's like 4 managers in that period. So it's just like anytime you guys were coming to the Bridge, we were either picking up from somewhere, we're either changing the manager, and we're not consistent with our performances. And then you guys, I think for Arteta's first season, I think that was like the only abysmal season, even though you guys still won. But apart from that season, like you guys have been like on the rise. You've always been doing well, and I think anytime you come to the Bridge, you've always wanted it more than us. And I think that's why maybe luck has to come. Because we actually won, I think in that 5 years, we actually won the game at the Emirates. I remember Tammy Abraham doing that, giving it to Willian, running to the box. Jorginho also scored on that day. So we've won games at the Emirates in that span, but just haven't been able to win at Stamford Bridge. And I really hope come Saturday we are able to like end that bad start.
I hope it continues.
You hope it continues, right? So I would really like us to end this video by giving our combined 11. I know this will be tough.
Yeah. Let's see.